Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to use the Outer Scout mod for Outer Wilds. Basically it's used to create cinematic shots from Outer Wilds, making them with fixed frame rate and some additional features. So to get this work, you need to install this Outer Scout mod from the website or using the mod manager. Additionally, you can install cheat mod to make the navigation inside solar system easier. Before running the game, we need to install the Outer Scout Blender add-on, and firstly we need, of course, the Blender. I have it in my Steam library. Right here we have the manual of the add-on. Let's go to Releases. And download the release archive. And now we just go to Preferences, Add-ons, and we're going to install from disk. We go to the location and we can choose our zip archive. As you can see, the mode is installed right here and it has some preferences as well. We're going to return to them a bit later. Besides Blender and its add-on, we require FFmpeg, which can be installed through the official site. Instead of downloading the source code, we're going to download Windows build. As you can see, I already have this installed. And everything you need is to place it wherever you want and add this to the path. You can Google how to make it on Windows. Now we have all the software we need, and next step is finish preparing our add-on for Blender. Right here we're missing some bodies and extracted assets folder. So this means we need the assets of Outer Wilds. To do so, you can search for Asset Studio, which is commonly used to rip game files from Unity games. I used this archive, but you can choose any release you want. So I have it right here, and before launching it, make sure you have sufficient RAM to get your computer functional. If your RAM isn't sufficient, you can try to increase your virtual memory. So let's launch it, and right here we just need to load folder, and we go to location of Outer Wilds. We need just the Outer Wilds data folder. It's processing through the all assets of Outer Wilds, and if it's stuck, that means you have not enough memory. But as a result, it should look something like this. Out of memory exception. Yeah, so Asset Studio and OBS got crashed, so I expanded the size of virtual memory. And now we're gonna try once more. Finally, we have all assets ripped to our temporary memory. As you can see, there are some levels, resources, shared assets, and nothing more. So the first step is, let's go to asset extraction section, and here we did the loading folder, and now we go to export options and we set the group exported assets by option to container path. It's located right here, container path. So the next step is to make sure you understand that bodies folder contain FBX meshes of planets containing their basic structures. As for extracted assets, there should be just object meshes. Nextly, we're doing a filter for meshes, and then we say export filtered assets, and then we choose which folder it will be. I have already done this right here, and as you can see, it contains just the object files. And next, we are selecting the planets of interest, and then we export them as FBX files in bodies folder. Bodies of Outer Wilds are located in the level 1. Level 0 is the title menu. In level 1 you should look for solar system root, and then there are some bodies. You can check them, which makes them selected, and I advise you to export all of them which end with body suffix. So these are all bodies of solar system, and then you press model, export selected objects split with your inside your desired folder. I did it right here, all planets. So now we can just close the Asset Studio and never open it again, hopefully. And then we go to Blender and set the folder paths right here. Make sure you select it, not the all planets folder, but game object. And as for extracted, all assets right here, yeah. It should be something like this. Now we have add-on prepared, so let's proceed to main process. We can delete that unnecessary cube and just remain the camera and the light. We save it somewhere. I would call it a tutorial. Yes. And now we finally launch the game. The next step is to add our scene to Blender. We click here, we choose origin location, body center or player or scout. You can place your scout wherever you want, and that can be a center. But I prefer choosing the player body. Additionally, you have here a checkbox detecting the current planet, but I prefer choosing this manually. As you can see, there are player ships, and station, and other locations. Alright, now we can import Timberhealth body from our folder. And here we can select only current, all, or current and parents. Commonly you would prefer current and parents. And ta-da! We have our Hearthstone village here. As you can see, the center is our player. And now we can do some stuff with the camera. But before doing that, we need to make some manipulations. First, the transparent rendering is not enabled. It's located in render and film transparent. As you can see, it's gone. Next, we need to choose camera, outer scout, and give a name to this object. For example, camera 1. As for outer scout type, we choose perspective, recording enable, and there are 2 output videos for this. The first one is color, which records like the game footage, and depth is the mask. You will see that later. Instead of making an absolute path, I recommend doing a relative one, like cam1 color dot mp4, and same here, cam1 depth mp4. That's it, and we should be ready. I think you should choose this render engine. Well, and here in the outputs properties you can choose any FPS you like, I recommend using 60 frames per second. And I think that's it. So now we can like make some auto keying for the camera. Unfortunately, I'm not that experienced with the Blender, but you can watch some tutorials that would help you easily navigate our created scene. For example, the end would be, well, let's make the animation duration like 2 seconds, as long as we have 60 frames per second and rotating the camera upwards to look at where is the observatory? Oh, that tree. A bit down. And also we make some ease. Let's see how it looks. Not that smooth. Let's change interpolation mode to back. And actually let's make it a bit more large. So we have the animation of camera, and now we need to save project, of course, and making a tutorial. Before pressing the record button, I would like to check show player model. If you want, you can uncheck it. If you don't want to see player model on the footage. So now we press record button and we get some error. Wow. So after making the animation you want, you press record button and the Outer Wilds is making frames inside of it, and then you need to go to your application and you have your file named in the record settings, cam1 color mp4. And as you can see, it works. We can see our hatchling here and the smooth movement of the camera. As for depth file, well, we can't see anything, but as I said before, it behaves like a mask. The closer object have more bright color and the objects that are further are more dark. You can use it to, for example, locate some objects behind the foreground. For example, you can put a skibidi toilet behind, but you should do that with, you can experiment with compositor, like here, and make the footage you want. So that's it. If you would like to choose a different origin location, you can go wherever you want and then just press set scene origin player. Make sure that your objects are placed correctly. The camera is relative to the scene origin, so that means that animation will be played something like this. Do not preoccupy by this footage because it's just a transparent thing, it's just the output file. But after doing that, you just press another time record button. And let's check it out again. Yeah, that space, certainly. Well, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, write them in the comments.